never right guy to say goodbye. But I gotta make a person tell you gonna start hating me. Cause I really don't feel the way I once felt about you. Girl, it's not you, it's me. And I got the feeling I need. Oh, it's a serious time to say goodbye. And you know we're gonna go our separate ways. But it's killing me. It's never the right time. It's right time to say goodbye.
Every day we lit, yeah. You can't tell me, yeah. Remember I was broke, yeah. Now I'm getting.
Guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Kurtis, and this is
Marcella.
And this is the MK Show. Okay, in today's video, we have our very own author. She goes by the name of Mrs. Longs. Ms. Long. She decided, or she didn't decide because somebody forced her.
Yeah, teachers.
She had to write a book. So she decided that she wanted to read the book to you guys and show you her artistic ways that she no longer has.
Ah, I can still draw somewhat, but I want to read, like, you know how you read like the back and like usually the authors, like about the authors, like in the front, but like I did mine in
So
the back.
basically she wants to read the whole book like this.
Really want you guys to see, because this was done by 4th grade or 3rd or 4th grade Marcella, and she was sickening. Like, look at this work. They gave us literally like a blank white book and they told us to write a story about like whatever we wanted, or like based off of something, I believe, because this is, if you read the title, it's the real story behind Little Red Riding Hood. Obviously, this is based off of Hoodwinked. Like, there's a crazy old grandma. I think that's Nick Fury. There's Humpty Dumpty. It's probably a mix of like Shrek and Hoodwinked. Cause like, why are all these fairy tales? And then there's ninjas. Is that Goldilocks? That has to be Goldilocks. I don't know who this girl is. I also don't know who this boy is or who this other girl is and why they're holding bags and why she's holding a sword, girl. What's going on in this scene, girl? But there's a lot going on. I was creative back then.
She's very excited. So,
excited.
Just like you guys have been doing, showing great support. If you show great support, leaving comments and likes and things like that, we will make sure to give you great content each and every week, and we will not miss a week. I promise you that. But we're gonna allow her to be crazy for one video.
But I'm gonna read you the back and then the author's thing first, okay? So the back says, the real story behind Little Red Riding Hood. No period, nothing. It's just a whole sentence. Yikes. I'm the one who thought of it, but now my grandma's been kidnapped. We will get her back. No, we will get her back. Will we catch the culprit? Will Little Bo Peep? Oh, it's Little Bo Peep. Okay, the girl in the front. Little Bo Peep. Will Little Bo Peep ever find her sheep? Stop! Will she make a joke? That you'll find out in the real story behind Little Red Riding Hood. Guys, I'm
really
so hyped. Okay, now about the author. Marcella Long is a very active girl. No comma, no period, no exclamation point, no nothing. She loves sweet, what?
Maybe you meant sweets.
Oh, maybe. She loves sweet, reading good books, playing soccer, and video games. She often enjoys writing if it can be fun and existing. I think I meant exciting.
That's it. That is what you said. She spelled exciting. EX sitting. X sitting. That's okay, you make it to you.
Oh my god, fun and exciting. So look out for any of her books. Ooh, self-promotion! Okay, girl. You was doing it. There's a little sheep. I should've, that's a dead giveaway, a Little Bo Peep right there, you know. Did I spell writing wrong? Writing's not with 2 D's. Writing's not with 2 D's. So, they didn't correct anything. What is this? Ridden Hood?
That's maybe I thought that's what you meant.
No, I'm pretty sure. Copyright, girl. Protect your brand, girl.
She's definitely feeling this book. So this is gonna be a long one, ladies and gentlemen. So
I'll try to read.
Grab your popcorn and grab your drinks.
Okay, so once upon a time, there's a little boy named Edward Ricardo Francis Patrick Smith O'Malley III. That's that name, girl. But you can call me Lil Red for short. That's right, it's me. That's my entire name. It's a pain to say, kind of like my sister is a pain to me. Everyone thinks she's a good little girl who is totally perfect. Not. She does most of the bad stuff, but I still get blamed for it. Oh, I literally wrote that like, oh. I guess you didn't know who my sister was, or who my sister is. Actually, or better yet, known as Little Red Riding Hood. You know that story, right? She goes and takes the sweets to her grandma. She stopped by the big bad wolf. He beat her to the granny's house, pretends to be the granny. Ashley, or Little Red Riding Hood, figures out that it's the wolf, and he goes to jail, and they, not me, live happily ever after. Wrong. I'm the one who thought of bringing grandma sweets. Ashley didn't want to do it. Oh! The plot twist! At the beginning! What? So I called grandma to make sure that she was going to be home that day, and she said when I got there, since she appreciated it, she would pay me when I got there. I know the first thing that comes to mind is going to be, you should be doing this to make your grandma happy, not for money. Girl, who was this 4th grade? But before you blame me, ask yourself, would you take the money? Who was she? But little Miss Saint over here was listening in on our conversation. So she set an alarm clock at 5 in the morning to make sure she woke up before. Then after she got ready and ate breakfast, she went on her way to get the money that I deserved. My sister exaggerates a lot, and I mean a lot. You know the forest that she traveled through? It was actually our neighborhood, and the big bad wolf was a chihuahua in my neighbor's yard. The skipping and singing that she did, not a chance. She was listening to her iPod. No, scratch that. My iPod. While she was walking, not skipping, and listening, not singing, she arrived at my grandma's house, and the big bad wolf that was pretending to be my grandma was actually my grandpa. He had on my grandma's apron, trying to cook something because he was starving. And the whole grandma, what big eyes, ears, and nose you have, was actually her criticizing my grandpa's cooking. The only thing she caught was a cold.
Can you imagine the teacher reading this? They're like, "Then this little girl is sassy."
And I was quiet in school, so they're probably like, who is she? Right now, I ditched Ashley to go to my friend's house. His name is HD, or Humpty Dumpty. Stop! You know, Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. The actual story was Humpty Dumpty worked at a palace, but he and his friend were playing pin the tail on the egg, and his friend pushed him off the wall. Well, that's how the nursery rhyme got started. My other friend is over at his house too. His name is Jordan. Oh, her name is Jordan. Okay. She likes sword fighting. She likes sword fighting so much that she took up a fencing class. She moved here from France 5 years ago. Oh my god, the stereotypes. So she has kind of a cool accent. Okay, we're here. Ding dong. Hello. Hi HD. Lil Red, how are you? Pretty good? Well, come on in. Jordan just got here. Sure enough, she was all scratched up with the sword in her hand. Bonjour. I spelled that wrong. Jordan said, which means good morning in French. No, it doesn't. Good morning, Jordan, I said. I see you've been practicing. You bet. The tournament's coming. I bet this is all on the first side. I was like seriously in a French accent doing this. The tournament is coming up, and I want to be at the top of my game. I'm not going to be second place this year, Jordan said. Well, good luck with that. I would be mad if someone was like, good luck with that, girl. About an hour later, the phone rang. We were in the middle of a game of Twister, so HD had to forfeit. Oh dang, they made a forfeit. They didn't even give him a chance. All of a sudden, I heard HD yell, Lil Red. I came rushing into the room. I saw HD on the phone and he looked scared. I said, what's wrong, HD? He looked at me and said, your grandmother was kidnapped. I was so shocked I couldn't say anything. Then I finally asked, how do you know? Someone on the phone told me, and they said, if you want her, you'll do what I say. They are still on the phone. Did he just shout this? Did he put him on hold? Like, question. I hurried and picked up the phone. Hello? I said into the phone. A man that sounded like he had a sore throat said, are you, what? Okay. Edward, Ricardo, Francis.
Oh my god. Are you what?
Okay. I'm sorry, that got me. I was funny.
He looked at the thing, he said, what? Okay.
A man that sounded like he had a sore throat said, are you what? Okay. Edward, Ricardo, Francis, Patrick, Jonathan, Smith, O'Malley III. I hate how people insist on saying my whole name, but I answered yes. The man said that if you want to see your grandmother again, bring a basket of goodies to the haunted house on Wall Street. Now, I became confused, then mad. Why would someone ask for a basket of sweets when they have my grandmother kidnapped? I began to think that this was a joke, and I said, excuse me? I'm sorry, I thought you just asked for my grandma's basket of goodies. Yes, of course, that's what I said. Are you deaf? Oh! Now, I'm furious. First of all, they called me at my friend's house. That's what I was thinking.
I was gonna say, like, what?
Then they called me by my full name. They threatened my grandma. Then they asked for a basket of sweets. And now they're calling me deaf? Girl. Now, I was on the verge of hanging up. But I heard a familiar voice in the background. Grandma! So they weren't lying. All of a sudden, I became worried that this was a prank and my grandma was in on it. So I asked if I could speak to my grandmother. Hello? My grandma sounded confused and scared. Please, Edward. My real name. Save me. How did you know that I thought you were lying? Click. They hung up. I looked at HD and Jordan. Well, what are we gonna do now? Jordan asked. What else to get my grandma's goodie basket? Luckily, my grandpa didn't lay a finger on it. Oh, shady. It does the finger. So Jordan, HD, and I went to this haunted house on Wall Street. When we arrived, we saw someone by the door. It was Ashley. We started running up to her. But something was wrong. She was sitting on a chair with one of my grandma's favorite necklaces with her and a basket that looked exactly like the one I was carrying. I went up to her and asked, what are you doing? And she said, I don't know. The man called asking where you were and for grandma's goodie basket and necklace. He told me to come here, but there's no sign of anyone. I asked her, what did the man sound like? Well, he sounded like he had a sore throat. And I looked at Jordan and HD and they looked at me and then we looked at Ashley. That should be a scene. I swear to God, we should act this out. So what do we do while we wait? I asked. Count sheep. Jordan suggested. All of a sudden, we see little Bo Peep with sheep trying to keep them together. Or we could do what I've been doing for the past hour. What is that? Asked HD. Sit here. I guess we should sit down. We should sit down. So we all did. We sat there for a couple of minutes, but it felt like hours. Finally, we heard the door unlock, so we all went in. They just casually just rolled up. Jesus. And the first thing we see is my grandma in a chair that's attached to chains and hanging from a frame, hanging from the roof. She was gagged and tied up. I yelled, Grandma! How are we going to get her down? Asked Ashley. I'll take care of that, Jordan said, and she ran and jumped off the wall. She took out her sword and cut my grandma down. She ungagged her and untied her and asked if she was all right. Yes, dear, my grandma said. Then, out of nowhere, two men came and grabbed Ashley and I. They pushed us down, grabbed the baskets, and disappeared. Then, over the speaker came a man with a sore throat. He said, thank you for the basket. And a man with a scar over his eye stepped into the light. So first of all, can I just show y'all this artistic ability? This is how I imagined all this going. Like, grandma hanging. I promise she's in the chair, y'all. The chair's right here. You see Grandma Humpty Dumpty. That's where he got patched up from the egg fall. Girl, why Ashley got highlights? I'm assuming that's Ashley. Or is that Jordan? I don't know which one's which, but one of them's got highlights and one of them's, oh, that must be
Ashley?
Yeah, that must be Ashley because she's small.
Yeah.
And that's Jordan, she's the French girl. And Humpty Dumpty, and then little Red, who has a red hat. And oh, Little Red Riding Hood. She has a red hood. Girl, the details. And then this is what I had envisioned for her running and jumping off the wall. I drew multiples like it was an anime. Jesus. Like she ran, jumped off the wall. Okay, girl. Anyway, we left off with the man with the scar on his face. Yeah, man with a scar on his face just came into the light. He opened the basket and there was $1 million inside. How did the goodies change to money? The man with a scar over his eye explained that he was a criminal. Of course a monkey could have figured that out.
Oh, no.
He was in a store looking for a place to hide the money. He saw the basket and he shoved the money in there, and after he checked to see if anyone saw him, he went to go get the basket and it was gone. It ended up that my grandma had grabbed the wrong basket. Girl,
Grandma trying to get rich. So.
you know.
You getting mad, we getting rich.
I'm just gonna show you the picture really quick. Why does he have fangs? Do you see the little tiny fangs?
He's a criminal.
I guess. The little ninjas, he has 2 little ninjas. One says, "It's my payday," and the other says, "This is such a boring job. It should pay more."
Oh. So
with the $1 million that he stole, he could bring some kind of mind control ray. Why can't we ever buy a lollipop machine? So Ashley pulled a trigger that let out the floor beneath the man's feet, so he fell to the floor. So Jordan took care of the other 2 guys. She tied them up and gagged them. So I walked over to the man with the scar and started my evil laugh.
Oh, are you a villain?
After that, we got to keep the money. Jordan won her, dang, the red.
Damn, she gave her evil laugh and then beat the villain like nothing.
Jordan won the tournament. Ashley still exaggerates a lot, and my grandma is vacating in Hawaii, and me, I'm in a plane to go skydiving. So wish me luck. And okay, so it just shows like photos, and then it shows Jordan, Jordan winning her competition. She's like the big first place thing. Here's second place, here's third place. So I don't know if you guys can read these little like bubbles, but this one says jazz, like yes, but with an accent, like jazz. I was staring at it like, what does it say? Like, why did I do that? Like, why did no one say hey? No.
Oh.
Jazz. And then this one says, I'll try harder next year. This little girl who's in third place, I obviously thought she was trash.
Oh.
I drew her all small and to the side. So, and then Ashley telling a story. This is her. This is Ashley. That's Little Red Riding Hood. Here's all the little kids, and I'm assuming this is Little Red because he has a little red hat. And it says, I'm serious, he had a gun to my head. And all the kids are like, what? And he's, Little Red's like, here we go again.
Dang, that'd be tough.
And here's Grandma surfing in Hawaii. Look, she's all small right there, and I drew a picture of her face up here, like as if they're like zooming it into the camera. Who was I? That's some detail, girl. Oh, and then we have the little friend pack. Here's Humpty Dumpty, Little Red, and Jordan. She stabbed him in his cut. It says, I'm sorry, HD, I honestly am. It says, no, Jordan, it's okay. And then he's like literally laughing on the ground. Shady friend. And then, what is this? Lil Bo Peep was literally in here like 2 seconds, and I drew a whole thing. It says, missing sheep. Have you seen this sheep? If so, go see Little Bo Peep at 1-800-LOST-SHEEP or email sheeppeep.org.
You dead serious?
No wonder teachers liked me. I was like, oh. And then it says, the end. And then it says, or is it? It's like, nah, trick. It's the little 2 ninjas. And one says, this is the live, eh? Like a Canadian, like, this is the live, eh? Who was I? And it says, yeah, the life. They're on like the beach somewhere. Are they in Hawaii? No, it just says on the beach. I don't know what's going on, girl. And then it says the end. So your girl, it has nothing after that besides like the author notes or whatever.
I have to say that was actually a pretty good book. It probably should be published. So
for like a
if there's
third
any
grader?
publishers out there who want to get a published book for some money, let us know.
That was surprisingly detailed for my
actually,
age.
it's pretty good. Really,
I didn't expect much. That was a lot more than I expected. That was funny.
Yeah.
I'm impressed with past me, because I don't think I would be nearly this detailed or nearly this funny when I'm writing now. I don't think I would be.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I give you a high five.
That was the peak of my writing career. That was actually pretty funny.
That's pretty good.
I'll give myself a pat on the back for that one.
The drawing was pretty good too. I don't know who drew it for her, but
No, I did.
man, you're savage.
Because I remember I make all them eggheads. I have no idea why. We found the freaking sheep. It's in the eye and between the D's that's not supposed to be there. And we have, oh, these are baskets, not a purse. Okay, we have baskets. The end.
I would say that was a pretty good book actually. That was I'm actually surprised.
I am too.
I've never seen that book before. I've never heard that book before. This is the first time, and I'm very. I want it to be published or made into a movie at least. We might if this video gets 10 likes, we will reenact that. We'll react to the story.
Yeah, we'll find
some people. We already have
probably
people,
remake
but
that.
we will remake that story. I think that'd be funny.
I think it would be funny too.
That would be hilarious, actually.
That would be. It's a fun little like.
So 10 likes, and we're gonna reenact it for you guys. But do you have anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right. But that is the end of the video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you like the video, like I said, if you get the video 10 likes, we'll reenact the story for you guys. But that's the end of the video. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.